whether you are really doing what you are supposed to do. Is it clear or not? Are you getting me? So that's part of what you do as facility manager.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can all hear me. It's my pleasure to welcome you to another Thursday afternoon session, the FM Lunch Hour, Facility Management Lunch Hour with me, Paul Erubami. And today we're going to be looking at something that is at the core of what we do as facility managers, making our customers, our video users live that are free of disruptions, supporting our businesses to excel through improved profitability, because we have mastered the art of cost control and management. We've also mastered the art of process and systems set up so that we can make things work seamlessly. And we are also now good enough to the point where we no longer have, that much or that many people issues that often causes disruptions and waste in our operations. So it's all about seamless operations, and we're going to be looking at how to, strategies for flawless facility management, from optimizing processes to ensuring peak performance, and all that it takes to keep your teams running effortlessly. I know that we are often in a bit of a dilemma in the FM industry. If there are no problems in the facility that we manage, would anyone notice that we are working? Would anyone appreciate what we put into it? And that's usually a big question. And my answer to it is, you will first make sure that they don't see any obstruction. But you can't keep quiet about how you make that happen. You can't keep quiet about how you save money. You can't keep quiet about how you create tools and systems that give them that kind of results, that peace of mind, with that prosperity, that increase in profitability, increase well-being, improve well-being, and improve health and safety that you provide, and ensure that it's always available. You cannot keep quiet about it. You have to still be able to market that value, so that it's appreciated by your organization. All right, so before we jump into it, I would like to just remind you that we're just very few days away from the start of the batch 23 of the FM Mastercraft Diploma. We have successfully trained over 1,000 people in the FM Mastercraft. And so we can say Max-Migold has taken at least 5% of facility managers in Nigeria through a professional qualification that offers a designation that is highly recognized in the industry. And we are not stopping there. We want to, as we work with industry associations to expand the scope and bring more people from all professions in the built environment into facility management, we want to ensure that more and more of those people coming into facility management are able to get qualified, get the experience, get the training, get the skills they need to function well, to excel in their career, to grow, and to be part of a network of seniors mentorship and resource provision. Okay, so February 3rd is the starting date. All you need to do is write down this link, maxmigold.com/promo, maxmigold.com/promo. Share this link on your status, send it out to your friends and people who are doing well in their career or not doing so well or not even having a career yet. We have room for everybody to leapfrog them to the next level. So and we have space in facility management for, you know, hundreds of thousands more that are out there struggling and pining it in different professions, whereas there's something that you can get rise up to the top quickly, staring you in the face. Okay, so maxmigold.com/promo, register, ask all the questions. There's a WhatsApp chat on the page. If you want to chat directly, just, you know, WhatsApp 080-220-20122. 080-220-20122. Send an email to info@maxmigold.com and we will respond to you if you have any queries. We have a WhatsApp group, Max-Migold FM training WhatsApp group. We have a Telegram group. These are groups that are, you know, have hundreds of people in there, and resources are being shared, opportunities are being exposed to them. You know, jobs and all that, vacancies are being shared with you. So, you know, come in there. I believe the link is on the chat. Let's see. Yes, we'll have the links. I see the email is been dropped. We'll also need to have the WhatsApp joining link, the Telegram joining link as well. We have opportunities for free training. We had one earlier, you know, this month, and many people have been able to get the free certificates of training from Max-Migold. Beautiful certificates for a one-day training that you can get for free. And if you join our network, we'll also be able to share with you ways you can get the free training certificate from Max-Migold. The more, the merrier is our policy. The more people we can impact and reach, the better for us and the better for the industry. So come on board, join our platform in a day or two. We'll put in the links and instructions for you to earn the free FM, free Giving Back Series FM training certificate on our learning management portal. And we have about 150 other courses. So beyond the free training, there are other courses in you know, workplace productivity related topics like you know, how to lead a team, supervision skills, report writing, all of those things that you might have challenges in. We also have courses in soft skills, you know, emotional intelligence, you know, how to manage your time, project management skills. They're all there on our learning management, and they're not expensive. They are things that you could buy with your 1 month recharge cards or a GoTV, DSTV bill amount. Just buy a course, and you get industry respected certificates from Max-Migold Training Center just by taking these online courses. So go to facilitymanagementcourses.com. That's the domain where all our courses are. Facilitymanagementcourses.com. And we also have it on the chat. So facilitymanagementcourses.com. That's where all our courses are. Browse through them. There will be some skill gap you have. You have done some appraisals at the end of last year and you've been told, oh, you need to improve in how to speak, how to handle calls as a call center agent, how to make presentations. You might need to improve on how to write better, you know, how to use Excel, you know, presentation slides in Microsoft PowerPoint and the rest. All of that courses for all of them are there. And then we have the Global Skills Development Council certifications as well. Max-Migold is a partner for Nigeria for the GSDC certification courses. Go to maxmigold.com/training and you see a whole series of GSDC courses that we have there. Subscribe to anyone, we'll give you the token, and then you learn online and earn a certificate, straight from GSDC. Okay, so those are the things in the lineup. I want to just announce something we have modified. We gave a 100,000 naira discount, and many people have taken the opportunity of the 100,000 naira discount. Many have also said, "Oh, please just allow us pay full payments by the before the end of January, and let us afford that 100,000 naira discount." So I'm officially today announcing that you can all take the 100,000 naira discount till the end of the month. So make this information available to everyone, and let us have a bigger house as we run through. But don't forget that for teams of 5, 10, 15, 20 FM companies, maintenance companies, cleaning companies that want to upgrade their services and you need your team trained, come to us. You can get as much as 50% discount or rebates on the bulk purchase or the numbers that you're bringing into the training. So that's something that you can always count on with Max-Migold. All right, so that being said, I'd like to go straight into our session for today, the mastermind behind seamless operations. Facility managers are the nerve centers of the operations in the built environment. Everything that is built for us, to be handed over to us, to manage on behalf of the end users. The experiences of the end users depends on what we are able to do. So if we can manage the built environment effectively, the end users will be productive, they'll be healthy, they'll be safe, they'll be secure, and all the good things we talk about using the built environment to achieve. We are the custodians of that process. How do you make sure your operations are seamless and efficient? It's what we're going to be covering in this session. Talk about all the strategic, technical, and leadership skills to drive operational excellence, how to optimize resources, how to drive sustainability and compliance requirements, how to integrate technology and data-driven tools to enhance decision-making and operational efficiency. There are so many challenges that comes to you as obstacles to seamless day-to-day efficient facility management operations, and we want to tackle them as much as we can within these 40-45 minutes that we have in this session. Right. So our session today we'll start by talking about how higher level thinking is the secret to operational level efficiency. What am I saying? You don't just suddenly become efficient on the day-to-day if you've not spent time on strategic planning. Okay, so we'll talk about why strategic planning is key. Then, by the time you get into the the lower level activities in the operational and technical activities, where you schedule, you put things in place, you have work order system, you have logbooks for reporting, you have inspection templates and all that. Now, all of those are part of the normal plan, right? Now, but things can still go wrong. So that's where risk management comes in, okay? Have you taken out time to really sit down and say, what can go wrong? Everything seems to be working fine because strategic plans in place, tactical and operational plans in place, but then I also need my risk plan in case of so-called eventuality. Right now, now that I have all these processes in place and things are working well for me, I have my risk plan in place. What can I do to make things work more seamless, less disruptive, faster, more efficient, even more effective? And that's where technology comes in, right? So take a work order that I will, open the book, pull out a page, right? Maybe I even start from the maintenance program that's set up line by line things that needs to be done on a regular basis. So that's a spreadsheet. I take a work order, I copy out the line item into the work order, I put an assignment for somebody who's going to do it, I put the time, the location, the customer details, I fill all that by hand, and I issue all that work order to a technician who goes to the site to go and work, updates how long it took him, what he did, what parts he replaced, and so on and so forth. It takes to the customer who reviews the work and says, oh, it's done well. It does the rating on that same document, and it takes it back to me to update my logbook or spreadsheet. You see that whole process? I can simplify it if I deploy technology, right? I could, right from that maintenance program, click, and a work order opens up on the screen. The work order is pre-populated, so I don't even need to put things into it because it comes from my maintenance program. If it's going to come from a reactive work that a client is pushing, that client got something like a QR code, a link, or an app button where he clicks, selects his location, selects his name as a user, or in the case that it's a visitor, identifies the category of problem that he wants. So this is a carpentry issue, this is a plumbing issue, this is an AC issue. It indicates that and writes a little bit of a note on what the problem is observing is. And then as soon as he submits that, it automatically turns into a work order in the back end. So the person who receives it as the CMMS manager sees that, assigns it to, usually even a drop down, just drop down, your technician show up there, and the vendors show up there. You pick a vendor or a technician, its name is there, and then you say assign. That vendor gets an alert on his phone, opens it, and he sees the work, sees the location, sees the customer. He has the customer's details. They're all pre-loaded into the system. He goes straight to go and check out the work. He knows everything he needs to do. And when he is finished, in that same phone, he enters what he did and all that. As soon as he clicks submit, it pops up again to the CMMS manager who sees it and say, oh, this is that. Calls the customer to say, technician say you have done the job. Are you satisfied? Can we close on this work order? How satisfied are you? Sends him another link. Customer clicks satisfied. These are the observations. Boom, work order closed. You see, between the logbook or spreadsheets and paperwork orders and the back and forth paperwork and manual labor that we do in that process, to the technology-enabled one where everything is done, on smart computerized devices, the time it takes to deliver that job is faster. That's one. It costs less because, of course, it now costs less time. There is more visibility to more data on, for example, spares, availability of workmen, because once you click assign to Tunde, for example, if Tunde has other jobs that have been booked for and he has already booked his time, that Tunde is available or not, so you can move over to Akin for that job, right? Even the vendors, the same thing, right? And then once the job is done, you have all that information of the customer satisfaction that can go into another dashboard that gives you a dynamic view of customer satisfaction levels across different trades in your team. In addition to that, historical data is not hard to find. If I'm trying to find out how many ACs compressors were changed in the last 2 years, how many sockets in the hall was replaced in the last 1 year, how many man hours were spent fixing plumbing issues in the last 1 year, how many workers worked on this site, how many workers did each worker do per day, per week, per month, per year. You see all those data is just by filter. All the information comes out, right? So future decision making, so that technology is not only helping us for current efficiency, cheaper cost, more sustainability, more compliance, more visibility, easier data gathering and analysis, but it also now drives into future decision making. For example, I can do simple permutations using mean time between failures, average time it takes to fulfill a work order, average cost that goes into a work order, all kinds of data to decide on big ticket decisions like what goes into my budget for replacement, what goes into my budget for repairs, for example, and how long typically does an asset last, considering these types of issues that we have along the way. So many things come out of that because technology is a big aspect of operational excellence. So if you think you you want to do things manually, then again, ask yourself, how, what kind of benefits are you getting if you're not investing in technology? And then to the people side, this is even the bigger aspect. Sometimes you could deploy technology, have all these plans and systems in place, and then people just won't move their legs. They want to use their brains or their minds to commit and get the job done. There will be connection issue, communication issue, commitment issue, loyalty to the job. And all this boils down to leadership and how you at the top manage stakeholders. And then, of course, at the end of the day, you have to manage performance of everyone involved in your process. So it's a whole lot that goes into operational efficiency. That's seamless operations. It's a whole lot, okay? Where people no longer, and how do you know that, oh yes, my operations are now seamless? One, your costs will drop down. Two, your people will not be stressed. They will work with more zeal because their work is now easy. Three, your users will have less and less complaint. In fact, the level of communication in a seamless operation is so high that when something happens, people don't even bother to come and ask you because they know that you are pre-programmed to inform them. So they wait for that information, right? That seamless operation. Everything seems to work like clockwork. So cost reduces, time to deliver solutions reduces, and all stakeholders are happy. And that's the good thing about having a seamless operation. Now, but where does it start from? It starts from you as facility manager understanding your organization. Sometimes, this sounds like a very vague notion. How can a facility manager who is just doing maintenance, what does he know? What does he need to know about the organization? Everything. Everything that your CEO knows, everything that your the senior director, the C-suite managers, they know. You need to know the kind of customers your business attracts, the kind of facilities it has and what it hopes to have, the kind of cost your organization is willing to spend, the kind of risk level, the kind of sustainability expectations, profitability margins, expectations, and so on and so forth. Why do you need to know all of this? Because you need to provide facility management solutions that aligns. You cannot leave one organization and go to the other organization and say, I know facility management, therefore I know how to serve you. No. I have to be able to understand my organization, the industry, the customers, the stakeholders, the business premise visitors and all that, and design facility management solutions at a strategic level that aligns. So, and that alignment will not happen until I know what the organization is trying to achieve now, the facilities that I need to provide and services I need to provide to help it achieve what it needs to achieve now, what the organization is going to achieve or plan to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years, then the facilities that I need to put in place to ensure that the organization makes the progress towards that 5 years and 10 years progression. That's the basic foundation of strategic planning. Gap analysis. What are we trying to do now as a business? What is my facility providing now to help achieve that? Is there a gap between what I'm providing now and what will optimally help my organization achieve what it's trying to achieve? That's my first gap analysis. Then, what is my organization hoping to achieve in the next few years? There's going to be more technology deployment, there'll be more employees, there'll be more on and on and on, just name it, right? More of this. So the organization is hoping to be this big, it's modern and so on and so forth. My facilities, how should it also evolve? So that's a second gap analysis I need to create. So I must completely mirror my organization's path and let my facility planning also align, with that path. And of course, there will be risk issues that I need to deal with along the way as I move on in this approach. Because you probably think that you have all the plans in place. You probably think that you have used all the instructions we train you with in facility management to set up systems and processes in place. But then you must also be aware that priorities can change. So you must be ready to adapt as well. And risk can arise, things that you did not anticipate. So you create your own risk management plan to ensure you can align. Okay. So understanding the objectives is key. Whether the solution is going to grow, whether it's going. Some of the solutions are getting shutting down. They are moving away from Nigeria, for example. You cannot be an FM trying to help them revamp, rebuild, and all that. No, you are lying. So FMs must become business leaders. You must know what the objectives are, and your work you should not work against the objective of your organization. So what are the things that people typically see as seamless operations? There are mostly two aspects to this. One is the occupant services, people services, and the other is the building services. Okay. So let me start with the building services, where you have building systems like heating, ventilation, air conditioning, HVAC, that's your AC system, your plumbing system, electrical system, fire safety system, sprinklers and fire extinguishers and the rest, security systems, CCTV, constant, and access control systems, and then all forms of building maintenance activity, building fabric and structural maintenance. Now, if someone goes to the bathroom and there's no water, the person is not happy. There's no way that person can see your operation as a seamless operation. Of course, if it tells you, oh, there's no water, oh, sorry, you go do one or two things and water starts flowing. You probably think that person should appreciate you for doing the magic that brings the solution. But that person is supposed to be able to appreciate you more if he doesn't have that experience of having to hold back that pressure until water comes in for him to use the toilet. So some things like that, the kind of experiences our users get are the indicators of seamless operations. So on the building, the hard services that we just talked about, we don't want to always be coming to fix things. Break, we fix. That is not seamless operations. Okay? We don't want to have disruptions where somebody is trying to get something done and power goes out and story before you get it back on. Loss of time, loss of money, loss of revenue for the organization, loss of value, reputational, and other losses that has caused. We need to be able to quantify it. We will not allow this to happen in seamless operations. Okay, so we conduct. So the way to make this, seamless, really seamless is one, we have a pre-programmed series of maintenance activities that are pre-scheduled and carefully followed on a regular basis. So that's the first step. A maintenance program. That maintenance program must capture all of your assets. Don't make the mistake of putting in what we call a preventive maintenance plan, where only the assets that require a routine set of activities go into our maintenance plan. That's a big mistake. Don't let it happen. Let your entire asset register be represented in your maintenance program. And then on the next column, assign a maintenance strategy to them. Each asset has its own maintenance strategy. Those that have routine activities that you must do on a certain frequency, those ones you put the preventive maintenance, the PPM, as a strategy. There are those that you will need to monitor their condition before you take certain action. Those ones are the predictive maintenance. You put a PDM strategy. And then there are those that you do not need to do anything. You just need to make sure there's a budget in case they break down. Your tables, your chairs, your ceilings, your roof, your windows, your doors. Most of the things you have are ROTX, reactive maintenance, or ROTF, say run to failure. Whatever you just put those strategies there and then walk your plans through. That's the first thing about the maintenance plan. Once you have the maintenance plan, then you now, like I said, look at what can go wrong. So you have the risk management plan, where you pick up certain things that can go wrong and you plan for them as well. Okay. And then we'll now look at the occupant services, security, catering, fumigation, name it, landscaping, cleaning. People experience these things even before they engage with your, as soon as they come into your site, the first thing they see is your landscape, they see the security guards, are they well dressed, do they talk well, are they begging, whatever it is. You give them an impression first from your occupant services. When they go around your site, refuse all over the place, it's clean and tidy. Give that first impression. You need to have similar planning and scheduling for activities that must be done on clock work for occupant services to create that seamless experience. It's not for somebody to call you and say, oh, this refuse bin is full, come and empty it. And you don't run, go and empty it. No, that's a failure already. That's not seamless operations. Okay. So the objectives, one, give your users positive experiences, convenience, safety, security, a sense of well-being and health, productivity. Those experiences are what they are there for. And those things have ripple effects on the productivity and profitability of the organization because you're working from a strategic mindset. And then two, the assets that you are managing, the property has been, these are investments. So instead of allowing something that is smoldering to get burnt, or allowing something that is shaky to actually break off and fall off, or somebody being trapped in the elevator one because something was not done when it should have been done, and so on and so forth, you can reduce the kind of costs, break down repair costs if you do a proactive maintenance for your hard services. These also extend the useful life and increase asset value in case you are doing continuous valuation on an ongoing basis. And then, of course, there's an extension of that risk management strategies to compliance. Compliance with building codes, with statutory requirements. I'm having a hard time telling people who have just built a fanciful residential or commercial facility. So don't move in yet. There are certain audits that must be done. There are certain certifications we must have from fire, from environment, from safety commission, and they're like, oh no, my building is ready, I have to move in. You see, sometimes you will not be arrested for moving into a facility when it is not certified, ready for moving, right? But there are certain things that you will suffer because you didn't do it necessary. There are penalties, for example, if you don't get the right certifications for fire elevators, sewage, and so on and so forth. And then you also suffer certain commissioning activities that were not done. There are so many testing, commissioning activities that are skipped in most constructions. And then poor documentation, so that when things happen tomorrow, you start digging all over the place because you didn't take your time to make sure there's proper documentation. All these things are covered by regulations and we must be supporters and abiders, abide by the law wherever we find ourselves. I talked about technology, and I stayed just around the basic software. Basic. Putting your assets into a computerized maintenance management system, register all your vendors and your workers, register all your building users, put in your space, your floor plan, and allocate each person to where they will be. Of course, at that point, you move to a computerized facility management system. You have your vendors, and you have a place where you can put specification of what needs to be done for reactive work and how people will bid for it, and submit their bid in the system, and so just basic software. Because before you start talking about smart anything, smart cities, smart buildings, smart intelligent, blah, 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 you have to start from the basic. Move from well-defined processes on paper to transforming those processes into automated software processes. So when we start talking about Internet of Things that monitors your facilities and can do controls, smart buildings and the rest, it was based on the fact that you had the basic information to put into the system in the first place. And then you have the building information modeling where you model everything in 3 dimensions, and you put multiple dimensions of data, like cost data, specification data, maintenance data, multiple dimensions of data are embedded into your building. So in one click, you see a lot of information pop out in front of you. So you create one model, and all the data is embedded using codification in the BIM system. And then, of course, when it comes to sustainability, the biggest aspect of sustainability for us in FM is energy efficiency. People can fight all they want over how much a tariff is, but until we become smart energy users, it doesn't matter how low or how high the tariff gets, we'll be losing money. It's in percentage. If you're losing 30%, it doesn't matter whether the tariff is 100 naira per kilowatt hour or it's 500 naira per kilowatt hour, you're still losing 30% of it. How do you cut out that waste? How do you optimize your processes? How do you, take out things that are non-value adding, that are consuming energy in your site? It starts with visibility. If you're not monitoring, you are not doing anything. If all you are seeing is what it costs at the end of the month for everything, it's not disaggregated, because you refuse to install the little sensors that we can put here and there for you to install, then you are making a big loss. You might think that you are comfortable with the amount you are paying right now, but when the tariff goes up again, whoops, you're back to that point where you say, oh, I can't afford this. But why waste 30% of 100,000 and then it becomes a problem when it's now 30% of $1 million? You have to develop the habit of no longer wasting when it is still small, so that when it becomes big, you have an efficient system. Savings are again great. And this is where I would like to invite all of you. All organizations need smart technologies, smart solutions. At Max-Migold, we are working with organizations now to turn old buildings into smart buildings. Don't wait until the next towers or the heritage place or any of those top tier destinations. Those are the sustainable, smart, intelligent, green buildings. No, you can turn your old buildings into green, smart, intelligent buildings with the kind of chips and controllers you can install. But at least start with energy monitoring, so that you can have a very simple approach to monitoring your energy at a circuit level, so that by the time you want to move into controls, you can preset when things come on and when they go off. You can make them respond to demand, presence, for example, or temperature of the way I feel to control my AC. That's where smart buildings come from. So you start from monitoring, and then you introduce controls, and then you introduce intelligence into those controls, and that's how you move from basic technology that monitors to smart, intelligent systems that are sustainable and gives you all the value we're talking about. Now to the people issues. FM is not a single man's sport, not a game that one person plays on one side. It's a team sport. Everything we deliver in facility management is team. The experience that the end user gets from our service should be unified. One single experience. When I go into this building, oh, I'm so comfortable. Oh, things work well. Oh, there's no complaints. I'm very happy, I'm very productive. That's a singular unified experience that transfers credit and recommendation to the entire FM team. But you see, to make that work, some FM has to ensure that the proper plans are in place, has to ensure that the right people are in the various bits from security to plumbing to AC to electrical. They are trained, they are cross-trained, they work together, they brainstorm on issues, they solve issues, and they make sure that these solutions happen before the client even notices. That's seamless operation. But to do that, they must have relationship one with another. They must have that cordial relationship. A team is not a team until they are in agreement. In agreement with what? The objective of your facility management group is to provide what a singular experience, which you, as the FM, must be able to define and share and help them imbibe, all of them together. So it's not a case of, oh, it's not me, it's this person. No, it's us. And what are we trying to achieve? Not what I am trying to achieve, what are we trying to achieve? What is the experience we want to have for this end user? What are the positive experiences we want to, we must work together as one team to make that happen in facility management. And then, of course, there will be conflict here and there. There are people issues, there are political issues, there are issues that crop up. They have to be handled in such a way that they don't become a problem to the job. So if you're a facility manager thinking, oh, well, those two have their differences, it's not in my business, it's their problem. Your job is being affected. Do not allow conflict to fester among team members. And finally, allow, encourage, sponsor, provide impetus, opportunities, and resources for team members to learn and grow professionally. I had a conversation once with the head of an FM team who says, "Oh, no, I don't train them. This is not a school. They came here to work. They told us they can work. That's why we hired them, right? So let them go and work." I was speechless. I didn't know what to say, but you see, that is what creates an environment of sticking to the past, an environment of inefficiency, where innovation is dead, non-existent, where problems are reported as problems without solutions, where thinking is not even being done, let alone thinking out of the box. Because people are not being exposed to communal professional development as individuals and within their teams. It's always a big cost to the organization. If you think training them will be too expensive, or if you train them, they will leave, the other side of that is don't train them, let them stay, and you may not even be able to quantify how much losses you are making in that process. That's why it's important that we deal with issues, promote unity among the team, and encourage them to improve themselves continuously. Now, when people are working in the team, for you to have that seamless operation, you must also have a way of gauging performance. When performance is measured, performance improves. When performance is measured and reported, the rate of improvement accelerates. That's from Thomas S. Monson. And what is that saying really? First, you must have performance indicators. We talk about KPI, we talk about SLAs, we talk about job targets, tasks and targets. Set them as you are bringing people into a team. These are personal, individual role targets. These are team targets. This is how we are going to measure them, because we could have targets. Targets are mostly output-based, result-based. But we must also know what we are going to count and measure to judge whether those targets are being met, or to what extent are those performance targets being met. Just set those and have regular evaluations or appraisals that you use to give feedback, hear back from those who are working with the team, resolve challenges, and challenge them to do better, while showing them a trend of their performance across all the key KPI areas. You will be struggling with delivering to your clients. You could have a problem you cannot pin down on anybody. Nobody's doing anything wrong though. They are doing what they've been asked to do, but the client is having a negative experience, no joy in their hearts. They are not happy. They don't feel, that exceptional service, that seamless operation is coming from you. Why? Everybody has learned to work in silos. They have learned to cover themselves, watch their backs, and just do the bare minimum. There's no excitement, there's no creativity, there's not much happening. And that's because, one, you do not have a connection with the team, and two, you don't have a performance management system that is transparent. A job that does not require you to submit a report will not help you improve. And if that report is always, when you drop a report today, not connected to the report of last week, that report is not useful to you, because there cannot be continuous improvement without a trend pattern for every KPI. So there's measurements, there's reporting, there is trending that makes anything worthwhile and for you to continually improve. And then again, that builds a culture of excellence. It helps people to do better and better and better on a continuous basis. And when people are working in teams, they tend to do better if they see a path up and forward. It's not just enough to learn new skills, grow in one spot, because that's not real growth. Real growth is that after a few years, I can become, after a few years again, I can become, that path must be clear. Now, that after a few years I can become should not just be an empty hope. There are things that the individual should be taken through, must learn, must practice, must try his hands on, must show competence and capability in before he gets to the next level. So in essence, as a leader, your job is to expose them to the possibilities, the growth opportunities. Provide the resources, the time, the means, the support, the coaching to guide them through that path. It is now their choice as individuals. And that's why if someone decides not to grow professionally, start thinking of how to resist that person, because that person is going to become a problem. If you have done everything and the person is just not going to read anything, just not going to try anything different, not going to research anything, no matter how much you prod and push, be wary of that person. Because one, you cannot promote the person. You cannot be placed into positions where the person is not qualified for. Over time, the person becomes bitter and starts sabotaging the entire organization from within. And that can be very, very dangerous. So let the person go, the faster, the better. So that those who can align, can understand, can see that vision, that future you created for them, can walk the path and the vision will grow from there. All right, so that's our session for today. I hope you've learned one or two things. We talked about the importance of facility management in the built environment and in all our business organizations. We started out talking about how strategic planning is the umbrella, right? And strategic planning is not just planning for facilities. First, understand your organization, strategic objectives, the current targets and goals of your organization, how the facilities you have now are meeting those targets and goals, the future direction of your organization. What kind of facilities do we need in the future for the organization to attain that future goal, right? That's where strategy starts from. So it's two gap analysis, one current gap analysis and one future gap analysis. And then we talked about technology, okay? Adopt technologies. That's simple. From using QR codes to embedding forms in QR codes, from spreadsheets that are automated with reminders and prompts, all the way to CMMS and CAFM system, and start embedding advanced technologies like energy efficiency, Internet of Things, information modeling, little by little, as the need arises. Because technology is not something you just say, oh, it's time for technology. No, there must be a reason for you to want to deploy technology. Then, of course, you can't do any of this without having a proper stakeholder management system in place, proper culture, proper team engagement, cohesion within the team, and then continuous learning and innovation, professional development, a clear career path will ensure that the team bonds well and each person achieves not just the goals of the organization, but also the goals for their own career. That's how you make facility management better for your organization and for the industry. So thank you very much for being here with me. I hope you've picked up one or two things you can adopt. I have just unmuted. Let's see. I've just unmuted. So if you do have a question, I still have a few minutes. And I'm going to leave this few minutes at the end of every session to see if your hand will go up, or if you prefer to put your question in the chat on the WhatsApp group. If you're not on the WhatsApp group or the Telegram group, please just click on the link on the chat in this session now and join, right? And then there you can pick up conversations. The number I gave you earlier on, let's say the number is there. 080-220-20122. It's a WhatsApp number. I take chats on that number. When you send a chat, please introduce yourself and ask your questions clearly. I deal with hundreds of responses because now I'm personally mentoring more than 1,000 facility managers, and it's a lot of conversations I have to go through on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp on a daily basis. So please introduce yourself properly and indicate what you need, ask a question. But if it's somewhere you think everybody will benefit from, go to the WhatsApp chat, put the question there, and let's have a robust conversation around this and extend this launch hour into further chats and conversations in the WhatsApp or Telegram group. Okay. So that's it for today. Reminder again that our FMMC starts on the 3rd of February. If you have not made your payment, go and make your payment. I just announced today an extension of a 100,000 Naira discount on both the virtual and physical classes for full payments between now and 31st of January. So please take advantage of that and make your payment now and be on this program. Thank you so much, and see you again next week. Have a rest of the week. Bye.